I'm Adam Kadu, and it's time to master the art of real heart alignment, where you live, work, and play from your personal power as energy aligns, your gifts flow, and life simply works. These life-changing conversations are designed to help you to see what you're not seeing, hear what you're not hearing, and to be who you're not being, as the world needs more heart-centered leaders now more than ever. Are you ready to say no to living a half-hearted life and say yes instead to boldly living from a place of real heart alignment? Welcome to the Adam Kadu podcast. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Heart Alignment Show. I'm your host, Adam Kadu. In today's episode, we're going to have a conversation about how to take those pesky little negative thoughts and turn them into your superpower. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you a couple tricks or hacks, if you will. Everybody's looking for the hack, the quick way, the easy way, that once you master this little trick, if you will, it allows for so much more certainty, so much more predictability, so much more stability in your life when it comes to how you show up. And how you show up in life is how you act, and how you act determines the results that you get. So there was a point in time where I was on fire in business and in life, and things were just working well. And I identified this one thing that I was doing that changed the game for me. But fast forward in time, and when things weren't working so well, when I was frustrated and overwhelmed and confused and scared and resentful and resigned, I wasn't using this skill, this tool. And it's the difference sometimes between a quality of life that you're just fed up with, you're frustrated with, you have a lot of anger and judgment about, versus that life that we all get into at times where life simply flows a little bit easier. You start to see more possibilities. You start to work from this place of, I can do this. Things are working out for me. But when we get stuck in the mud, these negative thoughts can turn very quickly into one little tiny vibrational thought in your mind. And all of a sudden it can turn into a molehill, if you will, or a mountain. The saying goes, don't be turning your molehills, these little tiny hills with these little tiny moles dug out of the ground. Don't be turning those molehills into mountains. So, and before I preface this, I wanted to get into, if you can start to observe in your life and pay attention to when you feel off, when you have these feelings of scarcity or fear or doubt or shame or judgment or guilt, those low vibe states. If you catch yourself soon enough, it's very easy to see where that began. But if we are in these states for months and weeks and years at times, it's hard to trace back where that started. And I know a lot of us, we think we are going to solve the world by solving our mind. If I can just think positive and stay focused and, keep my mind out of the gutter and don't have these negative thoughts, things of that nature. If we feel like we can, keep our attention in a good place, then everything flows, which that's only half of the equation. Because we could have clear thinking, but in our bodies, we feel fear and resistance or frustration. And that way we feel in our body is going to influence our mind. And vice versa. Our mind, the thoughts we're thinking, is going to influence our body. But for me, it was like I was always trying to chase my mind and put it in a cage and box it up and make sure that I'm not getting off base with my thinking. And then all of a sudden I'd find myself just in a funk, and I'm like, well, that didn't work well. But I got very effective early on in my personal development journey of tuning into how I felt. And I know a lot of you listening to this show and a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of leaders out there, you're feelers. That's why you feel so drawn to leading. Wasn't this analytical equation. If I do A, B, and C, then I can help people and make more money and all this. Yes, money is in the equation for a lot of people. But there wasn't this analytical thought. It's usually this feeling of compassion or caring about people, wanting the best in others, wanting to allow people to wake up and see how they can change and do things in a certain way that leads to results. That's why we go out on this path of being coaches and consultants and course creators. So we want to help people change their lives. It's a feeling, it's a vibration. But a lot of times we get stuck in this thinking, right? And we think we can think our way into success. We've got to be able to do both. Yes, you want to plan, you want to think, you want to use your brain. But if you're only using your brain, chances are you're running into brick roads or brick walls all the time. You're getting into overwhelm. When you can tap into your feeling, you know very quickly if you're in alignment, if you're in flow, if you're feeling good. And if you're feeling good, stay there. Just stay there. Stay close to it. See what's working in that moment when you're feeling good. And what was working for me when I was feeling good, I was paying attention to how I felt, first of all, step number one. Step number two is like, if I was feeling off or a certain way, I would trace myself, my thoughts, back to my thoughts. What initially transpired in my thinking that got me to feeling this certain way? And I got very good at knowing and being able to discern these moments in time where it's just like I could catch myself, where it used to take me months, and then it used to take me weeks, and then it would take me days, and then it would take me hours, and then it took me a mere few minutes sometimes to realize I'm in a disempowered state. And oh, I was thinking this when I started on this path of this disempowered state that I'm in. So then it's just like, okay, what is it about that? What scared me about that? What was frustrating or disempowering about that thought? And then I could dissect it and get out of there. And I got closer and closer and closer. What took me a year, what took me months, what took me weeks, what took me hours, I could, in a mere instant, see and feel, more accurately, feel a negative thought. And I could see instantly what that thought was trying to do. And I could see instantly that this is a huge opportunity for me to be freaking present. And when I'm on, I can literally within a split second have a negative thought, a negative emotion in my body, because our thoughts determine our emotions determine our actions, and our actions determine our world. And it's so often where our mind is, where we're placing our attention, feeds into our emotions, our experience of this world, which has us showing up in a certain way, which is going to influence the results we get or do not get. So like I said, I got very good at within an instant seeing and feeling this negative thought. And instead of needing to dissect it and wrestle with it, what's this thought about, and getting into this whole thing and going down the rabbit hole with that, I would simply have a moment of gratitude for that thought. Because what I did is I turned that little thought vibration in my mind, I turned it into a good thing. Adam, how do you turn a negative thought into a good thing? I turned it into a reminder to be present right here and right now. So when I'm on and when I'm in a good place and, just like really practicing and immersing myself in this practice, a negative thought comes in. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder to be present. And I'll have a moment of presence, a moment of gratitude for that negative thought reminder. And I don't even need to call it a negative thought anymore or at this standpoint. It was simply a vibration that reminded me to be present. So something that used to derail me for weeks at a time or months at a time, these thoughts that would just feed on themselves and grow and expand, and the law of attraction, like attracts like. So if I'm having a negative thought and I'm still thinking, I'm going to attract more negative thoughts, and then it's going to weigh me down, and I'll be frustrated and overwhelmed and stressed out. I'm going to have low energy, and that's going to probably piss me off too. And I'm going to spiral. And so if you can get very good at tracing your thoughts back from the get-go, very good at feeling and understanding what's causing you to feel the way you feel, and then get even closer to it. And just when you catch these negative thoughts or you feel yourself, literally, I can feel my thoughts go in a certain direction and I can feel my body get tense or feel kind of just like icky. And then right then and right there, thank you. Thank you for reminding me to be present. And so I've created a cheat code, a shortcut, if you will, to be able to take these thoughts, these vibrations in my mind, and utilize them for the greater good, to utilize them to ground myself in the moment, to have a moment of clarity, of presence. And sometimes when you're in it, you need a little bit more presence. You need a little bit more time to be there. So sit in that presence for a minute, breathe, be grateful, relax your body. I mean, we carry so much stress in our body sometimes, and then our mind is going haywire, right? So it's like relax your body, slow your breathing down, let your body know that you're safe, and then get on with it. Get back with it. Do something fun, move your attention. And there's even times where I will project myself like into deep outer space if I just want to separate myself from a negative thought or a negative thought pattern. And so instead of wrestling with the negative thought, I will take a moment, I will breathe, relax my body, and I will just go in my mind to this place where I just shoot out into outer space. And in your mind, you cannot be two places at the same time. I cannot be in this negative thought cycle and in outer space at the exact same time. So if my mind tries to go back to this negative thought, I'm just staying in outer space for a little bit. I'm just staying there. And it works wonders for allowing your nervous system to just chill. You feel more grounded. And then you just like get to a point, if you're really committed to this, and sometimes it takes time. Sometimes the negative loop you were in is a little bit stronger than the last. But you get to this point where you can just feel good. And you know how to access this feeling of feeling good. You don't have to think so hard into it. You don't have to try to figure so much out in the world. And I promise you, yet again, your thoughts determine your feelings and your emotions determine your actions. And your actions, the way you show up in this world, the things that you do or do not do, because there's times where we're disempowered, we're in guilt, we're in shame, and we want to, write some copy or do a Facebook live or do an Instagram live or write a post or send a message to somebody. And we can't do it because we're in this low vibe state that you don't have your personal power. But when you stay close to this feeling and let that be your inner guidance system, all of a sudden, life just gets a little bit more clear. You don't have all the overwhelming confusion. You can actually see, like not physically with the eyes, but you can see and sense the next step that feels more aligned to you. So tune into that. Leave you with that today. And I would love some feedback. Practice this, like commit to this. I promise this is like one tool that has had such a profound impact on my life. So practice this, commit to it. Stay closer to the awareness of your body. Stay closer to the awareness of your thoughts. The awareness of your mind, when you can take a back seat and observe it, sometimes it's just going haywire and you can be like, wow, my mind is really on fire today. You can find a little humor in it, but we so often associate our thinking with reality, and it's not. Not every thought is real. You cannot objectively measure that thought in life. You cannot touch it. It's not in the 3D. And so pay a little bit more attention in your daily life to this awareness of mind, this awareness of body, because awareness is such a key aspect. And here very soon, I'm going to be doing more trainings around awareness and presence. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is a 3-part video series all around how to lead with your heart. Heart-Centered Leaders Live. And when you can be more aware, more grounded, working from the emotions that move you forward instead of keeping you stuck, and create that as a new pattern, a new cycle, a new habit for you, it changes so much. It allows you to stand a little bit taller for your worth in the work you're here to do. It allows you to sell more effectively when it comes to presenting offers, handling objections, and leading people in a way that they actually want to follow. because there's a lot of people online doing a lot of different things, saying a lot of different things. And we have become very sensitive to seeing if people are in alignment or if they're just blowing smoke and selling you a bill of goods. And if you are working from this place of fear, and I get it, it's like sometimes we work from fear and we need to step into courage and use courage to get over that fear. But if you have all this second guessing yourself and all this, inadequacy and imposter syndrome and perfectionism and procrastination, if we're constantly wearing that all the time because we're stuck in our head, people feel that. And you're not going to see the reflected results versus when you're in flow, when you're in alignment, when you care deeply about the people that you're here to serve and impact. When you can work from there, people see it and feel it. And sometimes the offer isn't exactly what they need, but they want what you have. So we're going to get into this. So you can actually go to adamkadu.com/heart to register for that training. And it's definitely one that you're going to want to attend because we go deep into some of the nuances of leadership and sales that you just don't find anywhere else. And this is a free training. So adamkadu.com/heart. And until then, awareness is key. Stay aware of your thoughts. Stay aware of how you feel. Stay aware of the emotions that you're embodying because the emotions are what create motion. Your emotions are what create your motion. It's your emotions that determine your actions, and your actions determine the results or lack thereof. So let's get into it. Tap into your heart today. Care deeply for the people around you. And until next time, lead with love because the world needs more heart-centered leaders now more than ever. So damn it, let's go lead. Talk soon. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Adam Kadu podcast. If you would, take a moment to subscribe and click the bell icon so that way you get notified when future episodes air. Now, here's the thing. If you are looking for the show notes, you can find a link to those below. If you're looking for the handles of the guests that I've been interviewing, things of that nature, you'll find that here. And if there's anything else that stood out to you in the episode, or if there's anything I can do for you, please leave a comment below. Or for sure, message me on Instagram if you'd like, as I'm always looking to hear what's working well for you and what caught your interest about the Adam Kadu podcast. So, time to go, time to change the world, time to help more people. Are you ready? Let's go do this thing. The world needs more leaders. So thanks again for listening to the Adam Kadu podcast.